Former Congressman Trey Gowdy, Fox News contributor, former South Carolina Congressman, former chair of the House Oversight Committee. He joins us from South Carolina. Sir, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to y'all. How are y'all?
We're doing okay. Hey, were you surprised to hear that apparently the Department of Justice has now finally interviewed Christopher Steele, the former British spy who helped put together that dossier?
Pleasantly surprised. The only way Michael Horowitz can issue the kind of report that he wants to issue that we would benefit from is to interview every single witness. I cannot imagine a more seminal witness than Christopher Steele. So kudos to them for going to Europe and interviewing him, because they certainly couldn't make him come here.
They interviewed him for 16 hours. Any word, have you heard anything from your peers in Washington when we're going to know some answers, when the Horowitz report's going to come out?
No, Ansley, the good thing about Michael Horowitz is he's happy to talk to anyone about timing, but he's not going to talk about substance. And I'm not a member anymore, so I wouldn't even ask him about timing. I've heard that it's been delayed a little bit, in part because of the new witnesses that have come forward, but also in part because, I mean, think Horowitz is having to read this report in a skiff, in a secure room.
Right.
A lot of the report's going to be classified. I think... Look, we all wanted it yesterday, but I'm willing to postpone when I get it to have the most thorough accounting of what happened over that year-and-a-half time period as possible.
So, Trey, who else do you want to hear from? Who else besides Steele do we need to hear from?
Well, I don't know everyone that Horowitz has interviewed, but you're going to have to hear with respect to that factual predicate in early 2016. You know, we repeatedly asked the Bureau, when did this investigation into the Trump campaign begin? And they always said July of 2016, which is when Peter Strzok initiated it. I want to talk to the agent who was handling Steele. I want to talk to anyone who can shed light on when the world's premier, most powerful law enforcement agency decided to investigate a presidential campaign. So, look, Horowitz was a prosecutor before he became IG, really smart guy. There's nothing I can tell him he doesn't already know. Go find everyone who knows anything, and then write the most thorough, apolitical report you possibly can.
Right. Let's switch gears to talk a little bit about the Supreme Court a while back came out and said regarding the census question, you could ask it, but the way you've formulated this, your paperwork, don't like it, sent it back. Well, now we heard yesterday, Mr. Gowdy, that the DOJ was going to switch the entire legal team because certain members said, you know what, we're out on the next phase. But now the judge on the case said, no, not so fast. You're all still back on the case unless you give me a really good reason.
Yeah, I have a ton of confidence in Attorney General Barr, and my guess is he's just now getting involved in this. I think the department has not handled this well, and Commerce has not handled this well, even dating back to when I was in Congress. It's a pretty simple question. Why did you add that citizenship question to the census? And there are 1,000 reasons that are all legitimate and good. There are only a couple that would be nefarious. So the inability to tell the truth about why that question was added to the census has hurt the U.S. government's position. And from a timeliness standpoint, you can't go in front of a judge and say, hey, look, you got to hurry up. You got to hurry up. And, oh, by the way, we're going to switch out our entire legal team. The Department of Justice speaks with one voice. I mean, I don't really care the individual opinions of the women and men at the Department of Justice. The United States government speaks with one voice. So if I'm a judge, I'm kind of wondering, why are you switching out lawyers at this point when you've been asking me to go, that time was of the essence? Why now? And why are you switching out your team?
Congressman.
I think it's a legitimate.
Thank you for being with us today. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you all.